Tommy, I'm having a nice
Baby?
glass of
Oh.
yeah, I am having a baby. I'm having a nice glass of milk right
Oh,
now
really?
as we
Actually? Can I
sit
see?
down to. Yeah, you want to see the cup I have it in?
Sure. Oh, is that Greedo?
Yeah, it is a for the listeners, it is a cup that is sculpted as Greedo's entire face and body that I found at
Oh,
Goodwill for $1.
really? For
Yeah.
$1?
hmm
That's pretty good.
And I've literally
Um,
never used it, and I bought it like 2 years ago.
I imagine you use it more. I don't know. I don't really
It's
have
just kind
many
of
fun
funny to
cups.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of mugs at school. Most of them are Harry Potter mugs that I got at like Universal when I went.
Yeah. I just realized because before recording this, for the past like I don't know 3 or 4 days, we have been recording all the Harry Potter episodes that'll go out in the next few months.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized because we are doing two Harry Potter movies
Per episode.
per episode. We're only doing Goodfellas, so we have to
Yeah, we
actually
gotta fill the
talk.
time.
Yeah, we actually have to be funny for at least 20 minutes. We can't rely on Dobby to do it for us.
Dobby. No one's gonna understand that until April.
Yeah, literally, no one's gonna understand that joke.
Yeah. So we pre-recorded every episode for the Harry Potter series, and we'll do those once a month or give or take. Um, I gotta be honest, I kind of miss it already.
Yeah,
Those are
I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed watching the Harry Potter. I would maybe consider doing Fantastic Beasts, but I've heard they're like really bad, so it might just not be worth
right.
it.
But maybe whenever the third one comes out, we can revisit it and do an episode on the first two movies.
Yeah, we could figure out some other. There's got to be some other like fun series that are like really that are like one, they're like a good series, and two, there's like little things that you can poke fun at.
I've
Um,
thought of a couple, but not all of them are like it's hard to find a series that's one as long as this one and two that is as like still enjoyable if not like a little goofy because like the other two that exist are the MCU and Harry Potter and Star Wars, but we've said before we don't want to do Star Wars at least for
yeah,
a while, and
yeah, that might have to be like the 100th episode special or
and
something.
and Marvel would take us a year and a half to get through everything. So
Mhm.
we'll find something. I have a couple ideas that I could shoot you later.
Yeah, you can shoot me whenever you want. Um, yeah, I'm sure
Well,
there's
Tommy
some
wants
other.
something to talk about, so I can do it now.
Yeah. But anyways, back on the milk topic, I don't know. We've had this discussion a couple times before, but I'm not like a huge milk drinker. Like I know there are other people I know in my life who drink much more milk than me. But my whole thing about milk is I think if you want to drink it with or at any meal, you should be able to without criticism. But apparently that's not allowed.
Well, Tommy said he was having Indian food tonight and having a nice tall glass of milk with it, which I think that's very odd behavior.
I don't think it's that bad.
Indian food. That's weird, man. What did you get? What did you have?
This was like this chicken tandoori, um, this like potato chickpea thing,
Mm.
some naan. You ever have naan?
I feel like I have, but like I've not like actually had it.
I will say, I think you're the type of person who, if you had naan, you would just like seriously love it. It's literally just like better bread. You like bread, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
It's just like really, really good bread.
Mm.
And it just tastes so good. I don't know. We should do a non-taste test on the podcast.
I think my biggest like food blind spot is like I've like never really had Indian food.
Really?
Like besides like one like curry thing, like maybe
Mhm.
once like every couple years. But like I've never like actually I don't think I've ever gotten food from an Indian restaurant. And there's no reason for that. Like
Huh.
I'd love to
It's
try
it's
it.
pretty
I've
good.
gotten like
He's racist. That's why. Yeah, yeah. There's no reason for it. Okay.
I've gotten like I don't know what type of food it is, but like shawarma and stuff.
Oh, that's I think that's more Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
I
that's what I was
love
gonna say, but I
shawarma.
didn't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah, no. I love shawarma. I had it once. I was at Grand Central for whatever reason, and there was this place and it had chicken shawarma, and my favorite food is chicken. I just literally that's like the one thing I just could eat.
Chicken and milk.
Yeah, chicken and milk. And I there's this thing called chicken shawarma, and I'm like, yeah, might as well. And it was like the most delicious thing I've ever eaten in my life, and I just love chicken shawarma.
I had it for the first time because there's a place around the corner from our house that Tommy never stops sucking the dick of.
Yeah.
So I tried it there. And it was good. I wasn't like crazy about it,
Did you
but
have
it
it
was
in like a
good.
pita, or
I've
did
had
you
it.
have the platter,
I had it in a
like the
pita.
wrap? Okay,
Yeah,
that's the right way to do it.
I've had it multiple times, so I definitely enjoyed it
Mm,
enough.
that's
But
fair. Did you have it like with hummus and everything in it? All that?
I think I didn't ask for anything off of it. I just got
Okay.
like whatever was on the menu.
Yeah,
So,
okay. You probably did it right.
what do you think is like your favorite like type of food like that, like region?
Favorite cultural food?
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I definitely go back and forth. Um,
American.
yeah. I mean, I guess we're gonna get. I'd say egg noodles and ketchup.
Oh god,
We'll get into that later.
fucking stupid.
No, I don't know. I definitely go back and forth. I think I like all pretty equally. I'd say I really like Mexican food. I really like Chinese food a lot. And I also really like ramen. I don't really know where ramen. I think it's Japan. Is ramen from
It
Japan?
depends. Like pho is Vietnam, I know, but
Oh, okay.
like
Hmm.
actual ramen, I think is Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we
I don't know
didn't.
what else.
When you came up to visit my college, there's this like super good ramen place, but we didn't get to
Oh,
go.
really? That's okay.
Yeah,
Ramen's just like better soup. It's just
it
great.
is. One time, I went to that restaurant with my my girlfriend, and it's like her favorite restaurant in the entire like area where we go to college, and you know, she was in like a bad mood that day, so it was like, oh, we'll go out to get ramen, and it like wasn't as good that day for whatever reason, and we left, and
Ruh-roh.
she was like really mad, but like she had no reason to be like she didn't know why she was mad, and we got home, and I was like. And she was like huffing and puffing, and I was like, "What is wrong?" I was like, "Is it because the ramen wasn't as good this time?" And she went, "It wasn't as good this time." Like the realization dawned on her, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, that's what it was." She was
No,
like,
I swear to
she
God,
depended
food
on
can
it for a
sometimes.
crutch.
Yeah, sometimes food can like really make or break your day. I had there's this place where we are, and it was like I can't say the name, but
Describe it
it's
as best you can. What type of
uh,
food? What type of food?
well, that's the thing. It's like Korean food. It has the word noodle, I think, in its name, but I think it's half Korean and half like Southern barbecue food.
Oh, I know. I think I know.
You know
Which
exactly what. Okay, so I
yeah.
tried it because I'm like, I like it's probably not that bad. Um, and it wasn't bad. It was just they're located right next to a like big grocery store. And
Oh, I
after I
don't
ate,
know
I'm
what you're
like,
talking about then.
I'll tell you after. Or do you want me to just stop it and I could quickly say so you can.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Okay, I know what that. Okay. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Tommy just told me I paused the recording.
yeah. So the thing is, they're located right by this grocery store, and it just tasted like they just made the food from the grocery store.
Mm,
They just picked up like the cheapest ingredients.
yeah.
And I had this fried chicken from there, and it was good, but I just felt sick afterwards. I don't know. I forget how we even got onto. Oh, how food can make or break your day. But yeah, I felt like a little weird after that whole day.
Disappointed.
And it was sad.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause the recording
Yeah.
for a second. Yeah, my computer always defaults to my shitty network at my house, so I always have to change it, and I forget to. So that's what that was. For
Well,
those of you, you know what sucks about this Greedo cup
what's that?
is like it doesn't hold that much liquid.
Oh, really? Oh, you know what? It doesn't,
Yeah, it's
because
pretty
most of
shallow.
it's to the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was also thinking? We could talk a little bit more about this after the podcast.
I don't want to pour milk all over my computer, but
but we could also do like different tier lists, because we did that one tier list for Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
We could do that for like best chips. Like, I don't know if you like chips. I don't mind chips.
Mm-hmm. The thing is with the Thanksgiving one,
like,
we had a reason to
that is true.
like what movie do you
We could
review
do
that goes
best
hands?
Italian foods.
Oh my god, that'd actually be funny if we do like Godfather or something.
Yeah, it would.
We could figure something like that.
Yeah, I had a speaking back to Indian food. This is like kind of unrelated, but I had a teacher in high school in my senior year who, I forget what the context was. Like, she wasn't like a racist person, but this was like this just came out of her mouth. She was like, I don't think I could ever go to India because I don't like the smell of curry.
Oh my god.
And then the immediate response of one of the students was, all of India doesn't smell like curry. She was like, no, that's not. It was really,
Oh my god.
it was just you could see like her like backtracking the moment she said that.
Have you ever seen that that clip from the Jimmy Fallon show where he has RuPaul on it? And
Who?
you know RuPaul from RuPaul's Drag Race?
No.
Well, okay. Anyway,
I
RuPaul
believe you.
He's a drag queen.
Okay.
And and he's on the show and Jimmy Fallon says something. He's like what does it feel like to be like, you know, one of like the most famous drag queens or something? And RuPaul goes, a drag queen, and like pauses for a really long time, and like the look on Jimmy Fallon's face is like you can see the Twitter apology
yeah.
forming in his eyes. Like he's so scared he's about to be canceled, but you know, then he just says, I'm the queen of drag or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, you know, actually, I have seen that clip, and then he like laughs and like slowly like sighs.
Yeah, he scares the shit out of Jimmy Fallon. It's really funny. Yeah, wait, what were we talking? Oh yeah. So yeah, Tom, how you doing? What have you been doing?
What a transition.
Yeah.
I've been fine. I just watched some football. I watched Tom Brady win. Yep. That's about it. I've been watching this show Attack on Titan, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
I don't know. I haven't been really watching that
Wait,
many
so are
movies.
you still a Patriots fan now that Tom Brady is moved away?
I'm a Brady fan, but also a Patriots fan.
Wow, Tommy.
I mean,
that's so adult of you.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm mature.
I didn't really watch that much football this season, and I know Brady's in the playoffs, so I'm like, I might as well root for him. So that's just where I'm at. Yeah. Tell us about your favorite sports, Michael.
Oh yeah. I think actually like like I don't watch sports, you know, it's all like I don't know. It's just not my thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. The one sport I will sometimes watch is football. But that's usually me being like, you know, my father has Hulu Live TV, so I use that at college, and I'll be like, oh, look, the Jets are on. Oh, they're losing. And then I'll turn it off. Yeah. But that's one I actually do know how it works, football.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cool. I don't know shit about like whatever point conversion. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
There's like a 2-point conversion. Yeah. 2-point conversion.
Sure, whatever the fuck. I don't know what that is, but I can follow most of it.
Okay.
In terms of the other ones, like, I'm sorry to anyone out there who loves it, but I can't like hockey, it's really boring to me.
Yeah, I feel that way about soccer, baseball, and hockey. I can't watch them. I think literally the only sport that I can sit down and probably watch a full game and be interested is football.
Which is saying something
And
because it stops every 15 seconds.
yeah, that's true. I can't watch a full basketball game. I like the game, but I can't. I don't know. I found as I got
We should play
older,
1-on-1.
we should record it. Take your bets, everybody. They don't know what we look like either, so
I know.
it'll
What if
just
we
be
recorded
based
it
off
from like the
voice
neck down?
from the next. That'd be really funny.
Or we put our little
Yeah.
heads, we superimpose our little animated heads over ourselves.
I guess we could.
Have we ever played oh yeah, we have
We
played
did it. We
a
did a
sport
thing of
once,
baseball.
and we both wanted to kill ourselves.
Yeah, I think I was playing in the grass after like 10 minutes.
Just sitting in the grass like Greg Heffley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also like brutally hot that day.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty
I
sure we
remember.
sat on the bleachers and talked about video games like all of us for the first like hour, and then we're like, all right, let's play baseball. Then we stopped after 10 minutes.
I played lacrosse in the 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do the whole season? How'd it go?
Awful. Oh my
Nice.
god, dude, it's terrible. You know what I used to do?
What's that?
I would it's kind of embarrassing, but I would bite down on my mouth guard until my mouth would bleed.
Oh
And then
my
I would
god.
tell my coach, and he would be like, "Okay, you can go into the bathroom." And I would go and just like sit there until the
So that
game was over.
So you didn't have to play?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I also like managed for some reason to be on a team with like a bunch of other people who were good at the sport.
Oh,
So
so it was like fine.
so I always played defense because I
Mhm.
knew that our team was too good and it would never come over to that side. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I got decked one time by like this kid that was like 15 times my size. I was like 70 pounds in 8th grade, so I like got folded in half. Got folded in half like a lawn chair.
I don't know if I have many stories about. I played soccer for a while, and because this is like around middle school, I grew super like a lot in middle school. So at one point in middle school, my doctor was like, "Yeah, you're like in the 90th percentile of your height," which I am not now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not that tall.
I'm a quite average 5'10". But back in middle school, I was like a lot bigger. So I was actually like kind of tossing some kids in soccer because most of these kids are just like, because I played defense, and like a lot of people who were on offense of the other team were just like small and could run really fast. But I just would just like, go
Plow through
down.
them.
Yeah, it'd be really fun. So yeah, that was about it. And I got injured a couple times. I actually got syncope, if you know what that is,
No, I don't. What
during
is
the middle
that?
of a game. So I got hit in the knee somehow, and I was like fine, like I didn't tear anything, but I got hit in the knee really badly, and because I got hit in the knee, a bunch of the blood in my body started like rushing to the knee, and that like lessened the amount that rushed to my brain. So after I got hit, it like just turned halftime, and I was told to like go back into the game, but then I like everything was getting dark, and I was like, "What is going on,
Coach?
Yeah." And I had to sit down, and like everybody was around me, and like I just remember they gave me a water bottle to hold, and it just slipped out of my hands, and it was crazy.
I this has nothing to do with this, but it's kind of similar. So I don't know if this is technically a feint, but like when I first went off to college, at my first college, because I went to a different college at first, and
Mhm.
I was in a triple with and I was on the top bunk, and it was like the beginning of the semester, so like everyone was like friendly and whatever, and they were like, oh, let's all go out to dining hall or whatever, and I was the only one in the room at the time, so someone knocked on the door, and I like jumped off my uh my bed, and like I hit the floor, and like I was wearing socks, so like my feet slid out from under me, and I whacked my head on the ground, and I don't think no one saw because the door was closed. But I was like, no, that was embarrassing. So I stood up and I opened the door, and then everything went black, and I just remember falling back, and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna pass out, guys, and I fell backward onto my roommate's bed, and then you know my other my roommate handed me this like water bottle, and I just remember him going, yeah, just keep crushing that water, Mike, just keep crushing that water. Like I very vividly remember him, just keep crushing it, Mike, keep crushing that water,
Keep
you'll be
crushing
fine.
that water. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I remember keep crushing that water. What a guy.
He's great. I love that guy. I still talk to him sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I told this story, but this happened just recently, like a month ago. I almost fainted. I thought I had COVID. I had this is in December, and I had like 100-something degree fever, like 10, I don't know, 101 or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna take a shower because might as well just like boil in hot water for the next 30 minutes. And
you take extremely hot showers like me?
I take extremely hot and extremely long showers.
Me too.
It is
my
like
mom
my
always yells
one.
at me when I come out. She's like, dude, that was ridiculously long.
I honestly, I think we both talk about it. We both sit in the showers, right?
Yeah, we do. We both sit down at the bottom of the shower tub sometimes, and we're just like, oh, I need to load off.
I know. It's like I much prefer that to like any kind of alone time. And we'll get right back to it, but basically the shower was super steamy, and I was like, I can't really breathe super well. It's probably just like my head. Like it's probably just
my
in
head, not the intense amount of steam in
yeah.
me.
And then I was like, okay, this is getting a little bit like crazy. So I turned it off, and I like stepped out of the shower, and I couldn't put my clothes on. So I like walked to my room, and like once I got into my room, I literally just like fell backwards, and I hit the wall. But yeah, I guess that's what. And I didn't take another shower for like 3 days after that because I was so scared.
You're so
But
scared.
yeah, anyways, I think that's one of.
I have another fainting story.
If you had to rate what showers mean to you out of like 1 to 5 stars.
What they mean to me?
Yeah, how do you rate showers? Like just in the things.
There's like
life.
2 types of showers, right? There's like the one that's like I'm going in there to like chill, which is like turn the water on, pop a squat, just take the load off for like 20 to 30 minutes.
Take a shit in the shower.
Yeah. And then there's the kind that's like I actually need to like I'm like actually like my daily shower, like wash and scrub and all that shit, all that garbage.
Yeah,
all that those brainwashing schemes. But I would probably rate both of them as very important, but I would give the edge to the actual shower where like I'm like washing because you feel so much better afterwards.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I like necessarily feel good after taking those really long and hot showers, but in the moment,
I feel good during. Yeah,
in the moment, it is incredible.
And the only reason I really get out is because I'm like, I should probably get out, not because I want to.
If I could, and if like didn't cost any money, I would just spend like probably 2 hours in the shower.
What's funny is like I used to complain that my mom took really long showers when I was a kid, but now I'm like, I'm in the bathroom for like so long.
I think I told you this last year, because I would take such long showers, I would turn on podcasts and just like listen
the whole thing.
Yeah, I would probably listen to like half an hour's worth, and just sit in the shower.
And I will say those washing showers and the like relaxing showers, they're usually one and the same, right? But like usually I wash everything and then I'm like either just stand in the hot water and kind of phase out into like the nether realm or whatever. But sometimes it's like this is strictly a shower for relaxation purposes, or this is strictly one for washing purposes.
I get it like that. I'm like, a rough day. I need some me time. I'm gonna go in the shower for a bit.
Yeah, it's so nice because no one is gonna talk to you. You get away from your phone for a bit.
you just get to be like with your thoughts and like some excruciatingly hot water
Oh yeah,
on your
dude.
head.
Sometimes it's so hot I can't even be like a good amount into the water.
Do you have a certain stance when you're in the shower? Because I actually have. I realize
Yeah.
this. I
Do
have
you stand facing the faucet or away from the faucet? I'm curious.
facing,
Oh
but
really? I stand facing away.
there's a very specific stance I have when I'm in the
Yeah.
shower. It's actually weird. I like. I'm gonna have to stand up.
Tommy's getting up to demonstrate.
If you can't really hear me, that's okay. But I hold. What do I do? I think I hold. I go like this with my hands. No, no, no.
Yeah.
And then like with my feet. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna have to like pick up the. Maybe it's hard.
So
But I
make the motion that your feet make with your hands.
so like here are my feet like this. I
Yeah.
put this foot like that, and I just
Tommy has put one of his hands on top of the other.
and that's I'm not even like I. It's just
It's really
involuntary.
weird. He does the like, I had to do it to him pose in the shower, but with his feet crossed. That's really odd, dude.
Yeah, and I let the and then I let the water like just touch a little bit lower than my chest. And I realized I just naturally do this every time I get in the shower. It's not like me going, "Let me get into my pose." It's just like I get there and I'm doing it to him.
Find yourself doing it.
Yeah.
That's funny. I have one more fainting story, and then we can actually get into the Goodfellas. But
Okay.
for my middle school graduation, I took a shower, got dressed in the bathroom, and then I walked to my room. And I remember I was like, "Man, I feel nauseous," and I threw up onto my bed. I was standing up, threw up onto my bed, and then fell into the doorknob. And my mom tried to catch me, and she was like, "Michael!" And then I just had to get up and go to my graduation, pretend nothing happened.
Dude, I'm always so scared that like I'm gonna be somewhere like a graduation and I'm just gonna like get the uncontrollable urge to pee. And
Oh, I get
like
that
what would
with
you
the
do in that
number
situation?
2.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like it's a little bit easier to control with number 2.
not for me, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In fact, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to figure that out.
Yeah, this has been a ongoing thing for like years.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time. It's time to nail it down.
Have you like ever tried to eat more fiber?
Thanks, Tommy. No, that
No,
never
okay.
crossed my mind.
Okay. I just started eating like a little bit more fiber. I started eating like the Fiber One cereal. I gotta say, for the last like 2 weeks, I've just been farting nonstop. Like when I say nonstop, like it is. I swear to God, it is every 10 minutes.
Dude.
I am farting. Maybe less. That might even be like. I might even be like every 6. It's like actually insane.
Have you farted on the podcast today?
No, not today. I think it's been going down, but like literally asked me 4 or 5 days ago, it was just constant. If you text me, "Hey, have you farted in the last like 10 minutes?" I would have said absolutely at any random point in the day. Yeah, that's our daily every episode we gotta mention farts or poop at least once.
This is a fun episode. We've talked about my bowel issues, Tommy's flatulence, and then how both of us shower. Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I'll say this was a good movie, fella.
Yeah, it's.
I think I made that joke on the episode that came out last week.
Oh, did you?
I don't know. Maybe I made it to just you.
I don't know. Oh, you did. I think you did make that to me. Oh, you got it though.
Hey.
Yeah, I really like this movie. Especially, I don't know. What do you want to do? Do you want to like talk a little bit about it and then give our thoughts, or
yeah, aren't those one and the same?
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I guess you're right.
Okay.
So it's about like these mobsters, Italian mobsters.
They're pretty bad fellows.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the nicest and most
good
fellas. But they're interesting as hell, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yep.
Yeah, I like Joe Pesci a lot. Joe Pesci's like a
Yeah, he's Tommy.
little goblin man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everyone's if the thing is
Funny
like this
how
movie, yeah, like a clown.
I amuse you. How do I amuse you? Oh, it's great.
There's actually a pretty funny bit where they're like, it's like their wedding and they keep going through and they're like, this is Paulie and Petey. This is Peter, Paul, Paulie, Petey. Like there's like a million Pauls and Petes.
Yeah, she was like everybody there. Their names were all were either Paul or Pete, and they were all married to a woman named Mary.
Maria.
Yeah, Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marie. That's what it was.
Which is because I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, holy shit, this whole movie is people going, hey, Jimmy, Tommy, Zippy, Boppy, Doobie.
It's
Like,
Paulie.
yeah. It's very Italian.
I think one of the things I like about it is, even though it's like very like in your face Italian, they definitely like make fun of that whole thing, like the
Mhm.
Italian American kind of. I don't know. They recognize that they're like overdoing it a little bit.
Yeah, there's a line in this movie. I wrote about this in my letterbox review, but it really stuck out to me for some reason. And he's like, it's at the very end of the movie. Spoiler alert for a movie from 1990, but he's like he goes into witness protection, and he's like, when I got there, I tried to order spaghetti with marinara sauce, and I got egg noodles and ketchup. And you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, okay, makes sense. He's an Italian guy. He wants his like authentic Italian meal. But my response was more like, dude, that's the most common fucking meal in the entire world. There's no way you got egg noodles and ketchup. You got spaghetti and marinara sauce. Maybe like the sauce wasn't that good, but like shut up, dude. It is literally you could go to any country in the world and you could find a place that will deliver spaghetti with marinara sauce. It is not it's like it's not like pick any other Italian food, honestly. Like this is the most common one and the easiest one to make and make correctly.
so I initially when I read that, I was like, yeah, he's probably right. But then I just wanted to like play devil's advocate because this
Okay.
was like I think this took place in like the 1950s or 60s. Also
I
in
think the
witness
beginning was in the
protection.
50s, but the
Yeah, so he
music
was
was
probably
in
in
the
witness.
70s, but in.
So yeah, let's say it was 1970 or whatever. The witness protection program were in very very rural places in very rural states. So I'm just like,
I
it's
don't give a shit.
maybe
I don't
possible.
care. No, because here's why. Even if the most rural places, you're gonna find two types of food always: pizza and Italian, and like burgers, dogs, and chicken tenders. Those two, no matter where you are on the earth. And I swear to God, if someone is listening to this from like rural Pennsylvania, then like and they're like, actually, there's no fucking hamburgers or anything in my town. Like, shut up. I'm not talking about you. Did you see the house he was in at the end? He is not somewhere like that.
I don't know. I don't know. I he probably was over exaggerating, but I didn't really care all that much. I really just took
I
it
know.
as a
Okay,
joke.
yes, I know he was. I know it was a joke and he was exaggerating, but I just found it funny because it's like, no, it's not, dude. Shut up. It's just like that thing we always make fun of, where it's like, it's not my grandmama's authentic recipe, like blah blah blah. Like every time someone has come up to me and been like, "Oh no, you don't know what it's like to taste good sauce until you've
Oh
had
yeah.
my grandma's, and it tastes like every other fucking tomato sauce I've ever had in my entire life." And I'm like, "Oh, so good," because I have to say it because they're like, it's the best sauce in the entire world. Do you know that feeling?
People people are so annoying with like their homemade recipes or their like family traditions. Like I don't know. Like I know some people who this is back to Italian, not to like shit on Italians, but I know like some people who are just like, oh well, we gotta have like pasta and like we're like all this Italian stuff with it, and I'm like, why can't we just eat regular like normal food with I don't know. But other people do it. I know a lot of people who just like who always like insist that, oh my god, if you don't have fries with your burger, like what are you doing? And it's like, just let me fucking eat. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's always people who are like, Oh, my grandmother's chocolate chip cookies are the best in the world. And then you eat them and you're like, yep, tastes like every other fucking homemade chocolate chip cookie I've ever
Mm-hmm.
had in my entire
It's
life.
pretty good. You just
Like,
like it
yes,
because they grew up eating them.
yeah, there are plenty of times where it's like my mother's home cooked thing is like better than the store bought version or better than like the kind other people have. But usually that's because like there's like different tastes in it. Like, oh, like this grandma's famous cookie is like peanut butter, but like this one is, you know, a sugar cookie. So it's like a pick your poison type deal. But most of the time, it's usually like you're comparing two chocolate chip cookies who are pretty much exactly the
The exact
same.
same. Yeah. It's kind
Anyway, uh,
of.
what
What are we talking
movie?
about?
What are we talking
A
about?
movie? Harry Potter?
It also happens with movies, though. I'll just say this quick before we, but like
Yeah.
people will be like, "You haven't seen whatever, The Godfather? Have you even been watching movies?" But hey, I have a letterbox, okay?
I know
Don't talk
movies.
to me like you're some authority on movies. I have a letterbox account, motherfucker. Talk to
Yeah,
me. I'm the
this
authority.
is I will say this,
That's
like
a joke,
I
by
know
the way.
so many people who like I tell them, "Yeah, I haven't seen Forrest Gump." And like, "Yeah, you haven't seen Forrest Gump?" And then I'm like
Start like
and then
choking on
like
their
they
drink.
just yeah, they like haven't seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Hmm.
"What?" Like what? I don't know. Some people is
Believe
I
it or
don't know.
not, it's
Everybody does
impossible
it.
to see every single piece of popular media in the world.
Yeah, I know there's like there is at least one like every single person has missed at least one super big piece of popular media,
Hmm.
you know?
And there are people who do it with really obscure media too. Like, oh, you haven't seen this Netflix show you've literally never heard of, dude? What are you
Mhm.
missing? It's like obviously nothing because no one else has ever talked about it. Anyway, yeah, good movie.
So let's talk about what we like about this movie. I think there's a lot of movies that try to do the whole mobster thing and it just comes off as like
Annoying.
a little bit annoying and just like thrown in there and like Drive. um it just feels like very like fake, but this is not only it feels like very genuine and I actually like kind of like the characters,
Hmm.
but it's also I don't know, it's just super interesting. It's interesting as hell.
Yeah, here's what I'll hand it off to, right? And this is the second time I'm going to say this, but look, Martin Scorsese, if you're listening, Martin, can I call you Marty? You can make good movies, okay? I'll admit it. The movies you make are pretty. I've only seen two, okay? But the movies you
Which
make
ones
are
have you
pretty.
seen?
This and Taxi Driver.
Oh, okay.
But look, your comments about the MCU and superhero movies, you're still a punk, okay?
What did he say about the superhero
Just,
movies?
they're not cinema or whatever.
That's so dumb. I mean, like,
Dude,
sure, nobody was
whatever.
telling. Yeah.
I mean, how mad can you get? Because he's like a fucking 90-year-old man. Like, I don't care, dude. You're gonna. Oh God, Martin Scorsese doesn't think Deadpool is like the greatest movie ever. Oh God, what a shocking revelation. I just think that's kind of a tired take because it's like you're putting everything into one box. You know, that's
I
like me
agree.
being like every Western is terrible and not cinema. But anyway, his directing style is actually really good, and I really like it. And like usually
I
movies with heavy narration like this are like, oh my god, like do you really need this much narration? But actually, it adds a good amount of stylistic flair to the movie. I like it.
Yeah, so the thing I probably like most about this movie is Ray Liotta's narration.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so good. Yeah, it's like so it is like quite literally the definition of seamless. Like that scene where he's walking through the
And he
restaurant.
walks to the camera. Oh, I was
Well,
thinking to the courtroom.
there's a ton of scenes. But I'm thinking of the one where he's in the restaurant and like the camera's zooming in on all the people he's like introducing, and they all like talk as he like introduces their
Yeah,
names.
Tommy
And
two times. He says
yeah,
things
it's
two
like
times.
yeah, it's like
I'm
yeah,
gonna
this
go
is
get the
Jimmy.
papers. Get the
Yeah, let's
papers.
get the paper. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. And they did that with everybody, and I don't know. They did that a bunch of times with Ray Liotta's voice, or like when they were in jail, and he was like, you know, usually jail was is pretty bad, but for us it was actually pretty fun. Like they were eating lobster and like it was
Yeah, I
really
will say
cool.
it's pretty like it's pretty funny to see like some of those mobster things, like when he walks right into the restaurant and they like set aside a whole table for him and they're just like, oh, right. I'm like, damn, that must feel pretty fucking cool if you just walk in and they're like, here you go, here's your table. It's pretty
Right?
cool.
I will
I'm
say,
not trying to be a gangster, but
yeah, I will say like I definitely will never become a gangster, but this movie is like, damn, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think I think it's just like it's a surprising. Like I'd expect this movie to be like really boring. Like if you told me to watch this movie about the mob and it's almost, what, it's like 2.5 hours long,
Yeah.
and I would be like, this shit's gonna be so goddamn boring. It's gonna be like one dude sitting in a room and being like, hey, did you get me what I asked for? I ask of you one thing. And it's like a 45-minute conversation and then the guy dies and it's like, wow, the tension building. But like, no, in reality, there's actually always shit happening in this movie. And it's
It's
like
like very
surprisingly,
fast paced, yeah.
yeah, it's surprisingly pretty funny.
Hmm.
Like, and like, that's one thing I was kind of questioning with the movie. Is like, how much of it was I actually like, oh, this is funny? And how much was it like, I just think Joe Pesci talks really funny.
Joe Pesci's like definitely. I think he won Best Supporting Actor for this movie.
Did he?
Um, yeah. There's, and he's definitely a dick, which makes it a little bit funnier.
Oh
But there's
yeah,
that
it's
one scene where he like, there's that guy who's serving drinks, and Joe Pesci is
oh my
like,
god.
he like he's just being an asshole to this poor kid who's like serving them drinks, and he
Hmm.
says like dance dance monkey, and then starts shooting the ground, and he shoots the guy's foot,
Yeah.
and he goes to the doctor or whatever, and then the next time this kid's in a brace or cast, and and then Joe Pesci, the guy who shot his foot, is like, oh, what's taking you so long?
Yeah, yeah, baby. Yeah. And then he
And
kills
then
him anyway.
yeah, because the guy's like, hey, go fuck yourself, Tommy.
And
And
everyone else at the table is like, hell yeah, dude. Nice job sticking up for yourself. Joe Pesci kills him.
yeah.
Jesus
But
Christ,
this is
dude.
like what I guess, I don't know how realistic that was, but I guess that's, I don't put that out of the realm of like unordinary. Like that's probably what I expect a lot of these guys do. They probably just have such a short temper.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mhm.
I didn't think Tommy's death was like I was surprised how like I don't know. I don't know if this is like gonna be correct, but like how little the characters really talked about it beyond like the couple first two scenes afterwards. Like
Well,
it
I think
seemed
the
like a
movie
huge
was,
deal and he got whacked.
I think the movie was already like ending. I think because
Mhm.
that was in the final like what 10, 20, or probably 20 minutes.
Nah, I think it
Um,
was like in the last 30 or something.
yeah, I know that because I'm not sure exactly, but I just know that was like because that was near Henry's downfall where he got caught with the narcotics.
Hmm.
So that probably was like near that time frame. So that probably just took like a second fiddle to that.
I will say, and maybe this is just me, but like I did find the ending like a little bit confusing. Like not like the ending, but like the last chunk of the movie where like he's running around doing a bunch of stuff and then he gets caught and then decides to do witness protection. Like I feel like I was watching like pretty closely, but I felt like I was, and maybe it's my fault, but again, like I felt like I was just like missing key parts, and I was like, kind of didn't even realize he was doing witness protection until he was like, I'm in witness protection.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they explained it. I think this is probably wrong, but I know they got him on narcotics,
Yeah,
and I
that I
think
know.
they told him like, we know you did the Lufthansa heist, which is like a big part of the movie,
Hmm.
and they just didn't have proof. And I think they said if you rat out these people, then um, you'll be fine. We'll just put you in witness protection program. And I guess he knew that his friends were gonna whack him because they thought he was gonna rat. So he's like, all right,
Hmm.
it's either I rat on them or I literally die. So
Yeah,
he's
I
like, all right,
guess so.
well,
I will say the mobster stuff stopped looking fun in that whole part of the movie. It stopped being
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. It's like maybe this isn't the way, you know.
I was like, yeah, yeah, okay, I get why this is not like sustainable career
Yeah,
wise.
not not a sustainable career. What I really like about it though is that the movie, one of like the first scenes is Henry getting pinched, is what they call it,
Oh yeah,
which is like getting caught with whatever, and they tell him like you did the right thing because you didn't rat anybody out, and then the movie ends with him getting pinched and ratting people out,
yeah.
which I think is it's a pretty cool thing to show, like by beginning and
I
end.
thought that first scene was kind of it was weird because it was like it shouldn't be like nice or like heartwarming when a bunch of gangsters are like applauding a kid for not selling them out. But when they all
Yeah,
showed up at
like
the courthouse and they're like, yeah, like hugging him and stuff, it was like, ah. But at the same time, you're like, huh, those, those are like bad people who've like murdered a lot of people. And they're just like, but you still feel kind of like,
you're like, yeah, he's out.
yeah.
I think it was just I think the reason they did that was because like um Henry said that literally everybody was paid off, like the cops, you know, the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
shipping things. So like that's why a ton of gangsters could show up to a courtroom and then applaud when this kid was
When he didn't
what,
tell on
what he
them.
yeah, because they're just like, I mean, what are they gonna do?
Right. Yeah, that's cool. I think it did a good job. It did a good job showing like the power that they had at this point in time. Because it's weird to imagine that like yeah, there's an actual point where like this was what crime was.
Mm-hmm.
Like
This is
organized
organized
crime like
crime,
that.
yeah.
I'm sure it still exists in some capacity, but like you know, I think
Don't you mean the government?
okay, Tommy, and let's not get too political on the show. Uh, but like this was the time where it was like not the 90s when this came out, but like the 50s and 60s and whatever. But my other kind of gripe with this movie, and this isn't a big deal by any means, but I felt like there was so much licensed music, like
Yeah.
like it was playing all the time to the point where it felt like a song would like end in the scene, the characters would say like three sentences, and then another song would start, and I was just like, all right, dude, I'm a little tired now because like there are movies with fucking that do soundtracks really well. And I don't think this movie has a bad soundtrack or bad use of their soundtrack by any means. But
Just felt like a lot.
yeah, I think so. But like a movie like I'm gonna sound like a simp here, but Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like
Boy.
every song feels like properly spaced out and they all have
Yeah,
like
I
a
agree.
good reason to be played. But then you have something like Suicide Squad where it's like, oh, we're playing Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, we're playing 21 Pilots. Oh, we're playing this shit. Like,
Yeah, I could see there's definitely a few times in this movie where it feels a little bit out of place, but I think for the most part I didn't really have any problems with it.
well, I don't
Especially
think any of them were out of place. I just think there was a lot, like a lot, a lot.
yeah, I think the one song that they did really well was Layla.
When was
Because
that?
like that was the piano song when they showed like all of the people involved with the heist that they killed off, and they were like finding them in
Oh yeah, yeah.
the car that he like bought, the pink car.
Mm-hmm.
um and then like in that meat truck,
Yeah, yeah. And
and
then there
then
was
they
the
were
guy in
just
the
like
trash.
hmm I don't know, and that I just thought that was like really really cool use of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably just biased too because I love that song, but
No, I think all the music was good, but I like on their own. But I just think it was a lot of
that's fair.
music.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that in my part, but I could see that.
Um, and I would say like it's not again, it's not too big of a complaint, but I would say it's a smidgen too long because I didn't feel any pacing problems in like the first 2/3, but more so in that back half where shit's coming down around whatever his
It's
name
definitely
is
not as interesting. Like once he gets out of
out of
jail,
jail. Yeah.
is kind of, it's not bad. No, it's definitely not even
No,
close
it's
to
not
bad, but
bad.
it's nowhere near as exciting as like the first half.
Yeah, and I know in some ways that's intentional because it's like this is when we're starting to be like, oh yeah, this life actually fucking sucks. But I did feel like it
Mhm.
was like kind of dragging in places, and was like, okay, I get this now.
Yeah, I was much more interested when he was just involved in the killing, which sounds rather than the drugs. um, but no, I still think the movie was great.
I
Besides
was
that,
much more
and
interested when he became Joker.
yeah, yeah, it was actually interesting to see that Jimmy Conway, he broke free out of jail and became what was his name in the Joker?
Oh yeah, he became
Robert
Murray
De Niro,
Franklin.
Murray Franklin. Yeah, so I think I'm actually excited to watch like The Godfather because I know it's a more serious version and it's like literally all focused on it's all focused on like the actual
Godfather.
mafia. Yeah, it's all focused on like the actual mafia and like there's not really much stuff going on besides it. But I don't know. Well, I'll have to see how you like it. It's very intense. So I think it's sick.
You've seen The Godfather?
I've seen it once. I need to watch it again.
I've never seen it. It's one of
It,
those movies that do you know that effect where everyone tells you to watch something and every time you hear someone tell you that, you want to watch it less?
Me with Spider Verse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But you ended up liking that
I ended
one.
up liking it a lot. So take it from
Um
me. Sometimes you realize you're wrong.
oh yeah, definitely. That was me with Stranger Things season 1.
Did you
Tommy
like
doesn't
it?
like Stranger Things, but yeah, no. Everyone kept telling me to watch Stranger Things and I was literally like not happening. Like every time someone would tell me, it would put it off like 2 more months. But I finally watched it and I was like, oh, yeah, I really
You
like
guys should
season
have told
one.
me to watch this.
I wasn't as big on season 3, but I did like the first 2 seasons a lot. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but and back to Goodfellas.
We could
The
do The
God.
Godfather for the series. Actually,
Oh
probably not.
fuck me, dude. Those are like 3 hours each. How long is the first Godfather? We'll start there, maybe.
I think it's over 3 hours. Let me
Oh,
check.
for fuck's
And then
sake.
as a bonus thing, we could do The Irishman, which is another
A
3.5 hours.
bonus. Godfather. Oh, it's actually under 3 hours. 175 minutes.
258. Yeah, 2 hours 58.
Um, yeah. I mean, I'll look, dude. I'll watch it eventually. For fuck's sake. I just like, I don't know, man. I'm so bad with
We got to
like,
do Parasite first.
yeah, we haven't seen that for a while. There's actually a lot of movies we've been saying for a while that maybe we should do one next week. Uh, but yeah, Goodfellas. I don't know. I had a surprisingly enjoyable experience watching because I really was not expecting to be into it that much. But
Yeah, I think this movie's great because like if you're not that into mobster movies, I think you could still enjoy it just
it's
because
probably a good starter point.
yeah, the characters are like really, really
Mm-hmm.
charismatic and like kind of lovable.
Oh yeah,
And it
definitely.
doesn't feel like overly like that was my
Bashikatsusa solo.
yeah. It doesn't feel like too neck deep in the whole like mob and never go against the family.
Kiss the ring, motherfucker.
Yeah. It kind of just feels a lot of it feels like fun and lighthearted, even though it's they're
Yeah.
about like murder and terrible things. But
Yeah,
I
and
think
I
it's
think
great.
that framing device makes it more interesting. Taking
Yeah.
something that could have this like really long, boring, drawn out, dark subject matter and making it a more lighthearted, fun. I say lighthearted, not really, but like more fun and fast paced movie. Uh, Probably does it a lot of justice because you're gonna bring in a lot of people who definitely did not want to watch like some stuffy old person movie. Because that's what I always got the impression was from this movie, even though it's from the '90s. I always got the impression that like it
I
was
think
like
everybody like lumps it in with The Godfather, and it's
yeah.
actually like because I used to do that until I watched it, and then I was like, oh, this is not
actually
really
very
like The
tonally
Godfather at all.
different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very different.
because I've seen Godfather like on TV as I'm like walking by or whatever when like another family member is watching it, and the impression I got from that movie was like, oh yeah, that's probably what Goodfellas and all those are like. It does make me interested if The Irishman is even remotely similar or if it's more in line
It's
with
also Scorsese.
that. I know that's why
Yeah.
I'm like I'm curious. There's like two movies from 2019 left that I have not watched that I've been meaning to that were like Best Picture nominees,
What are those?
and that's one of them.
What are those?
Nice, Tommy. I'm gonna leave this long silence in after that. The other one's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I also really don't want to watch.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. It was
Mm,
long. I just thought it was longer than it needed to be.
I'm sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Quentin is king of that shit. I
I
say
don't
my boy. Fucking
think
hate
there
him.
were any foot stuff or Edwards in this one. Huh. Maybe there was. I probably just forgot.
Probably because this wasn't Quentin Tarantino.
It was Quentin Tarantino.
Goodfellas?
No, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Dude, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had like feet galore. I remember seeing it all
Did
over the
it?
internet. That's
Ah.
all I've heard. My girlfriend watched it, knew nothing about Quentin Tarantino, and was like, there was a lot of feet. And I was like, yeah, it's Quentin Tarantino. And she's like, oh, is that a thing? She's like, I just remember thinking there was a lot.
No. I didn't remember it. I saw it. I don't know. I saw it like when it came out, but I guess I don't remember it as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Have we done any Tarantino movies?
No.
Oh, wow. We could.
Let's keep it that way.
We could just never do a Tarantino movie.
That'd be funny.
It would. I'd actually be down. Let's not do it.
Be a big fuck you. We go like through every director's entire filmography, but we go purposefully around everything
Yeah.
Tarantino's done. We haven't. I feel like we haven't talked about the movie that much. There's not like I feel like there's just not.
There's not a lot.
Say.
It's just a fun and good movie. In
Yeah.
all honesty.
Like I said, my two gripes for those two things, and the fact that like I wasn't like personally very invested. But this is also like I think this is something that you and I, Tommy, we experience a lot as
As
like,
a couple.
as a couple, as movie watchers, is like we tend to gravitate more towards movies that like make us feel something for the characters or for the characters, rather than a movie that like has a really interesting and well thought out plot.
Yeah. So that's what like this movie, it's nothing at all. Like you mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy. It's nothing at all in structure or anything close to it, but it gives me that same kind of feeling like when I watch it, because it feels like there's some kind of attachment between me and the characters in the film. Like I just feel a lot closer. Like this doesn't make a lot of sense, or maybe it does, but I just feel like I don't know. It feels like more of a connection.
Amelia.
Yeah. Versus like when
meatball.
yeah, versus versus when I watch a movie like Drive.
Tom is
watch
like literally the hate squad for Drive.
When I watch that, I don't get it either. Everybody I've ever known is like, yeah, it's a great movie, and it's just boring as shit.
Yeah, we have one other friend that doesn't like it either. But
oh, really? Who's that? Oh, okay. COVID boy.
I hung up a letter to Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something for me personally where it's like okay, so like take a movie like Django Unchained, right? This is the one Tarantino movie I do like. I like Reservoir Dogs too, but Django's the one that like I actually really really like. But that's one where I'm like, wow, this movie is so well made. It's a really interesting plot. I really like it, but I could never like consider it even close to among like my favorite movies because like generally I feel like nothing when I watch it, like emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And a movie like I don't fucking know, The Muppets, honestly, like Say what you want, Tommy. I don't give a shit. I'm a shill, but it like really hits me emotionally, and like any movie that can do that, not just ones with felt puppets, like it'll put it like a league above, anything else. But it's a
Yeah, it's fair.
long-winded way of me saying that for me, what's most important in the movie is like emotion or like, you know, character rather than plot and logic. Because
Yeah,
there was a lot
some
of discourse this week about like this people were like really nitpicking the fuck out of Spider-Man 2, where like they were like, actually, if we look at Spider-Man 2 critically and on an
oh my
objective
god.
scale, then we can see that logically the plot makes no sense, because if Spider-Man were to punch Dr. Octopus in the face, he would be knocked unconscious because Dr. Octopus is a normal guy. And it's like, dude, you're watching a fucking movie where he sticks to walls and shoots webs out of his fucking hands.
Hmm.
You
So
kidding me?
logic, yeah.
That's so like I just feel like that's a really boring way to watch movies.
Um,
That has nothing to do with Goodfellas. That was just a
no,
tangent I
yeah.
wanted to get off my chest.
I think the way I wanted to explain it was that there are some movies that in the way they're presented, like in the way they're presented, I sometimes forget that I'm watching a movie.
Mhm.
And I think that's what I'm thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it's so fun and the characters are so charismatic that I forget that I'm watching a movie and
Mhm.
I don't even know where I am in time and space.
I think that's something too that's really good about this movie that I it's weird how much we were comparing this to Guardians of the Galaxy, but you are correct
Yeah,
because
it
like
shares no similarities
no, none. But
except in how you
I,
feel about it.
they're both like two movies where I feel like the characters act like real people, and the way they talk is
Mhm.
like, real people. Even like, even
Like
like in terms of Marvel movies, they don't talk like real people. Like Tony Hawk spouting one-liners constantly, and
yeah,
it's
like
not
I
how real
felt like
people
if
talk.
I feel like if I were to have a conversation with one of those characters in Goodfellas, I would know exactly what they would say or how they would respond.
Mm,
Whereas if I talk to somebody in like a Marvel movie, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna say. They're just gonna act like normal people.
right.
But in Goodfellas, it's just I don't know. It's just you kind of understand or get a better understanding of the characters more.
Yeah, I just think it's sharp. The dialogue they write is like you could
Sharp.
hear real people saying it. It's real sharp. You might cut your finger on it
Yeah.
or your
Might whack
toe
you.
if you're Quentin Tarantino.
Your old foot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chad.
Yeah, definitely Chad for me. Um, mhm.
Yeah, what are you watching, Tommy?
So this week I watched all the Harry Potter movies, which we haven't talked about.
Come back to this episode in 3 months.
Should we give them a little taste of something? Should we give
Yeah,
them
you
like
can
some
you
kind
can
of
you can give him
foreshadowing?
a little
Is
something
there any
something.
kind of foreshadowing that we can do?
Uh, uh
Debit or cash?
oh yeah, that's a good one. Debit or cash.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, you watched all 8 Harry Potter movies,
Yeah, I'm
and
kind of movied out.
yeah, I feel that. I say that, but I didn't watch like any movies this week. Besides Goodfellas and um I last night I rewatched Prisoners, which I watched for the first time over quarantine. I might have talked about it on the podcast. That's how recent it was, but
Did you watch
I
Clone
wanted to
Wars?
show my mom. A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Here's what's happened, Tommy. So let's
Uh-oh.
set the scene. I'm showing my girlfriend Daredevil for the first time. I've talked about it a couple weeks ago, but got through season 2. Started so in between season 2 and season 3, there's like a mini series called Defenders that Daredevil is in. So if you want the whole Daredevil experience, you have to watch it, even though the show's kind of shitty. But like, whatever. We watched that too. So we watched that in one day, and then now we're watching Daredevil season 3, and holy fuck, it is so fucking good that I literally only want to watch that when I have any free time.
So
Like
is season
I've
3 the
seen
best
it.
season?
Oh, by far. Season 1 and season 3 are like, I would say honestly, without hyper, you know,
Hyperbole.
sure. I would say that those are like two of the best pieces of superhero content that exists currently.
So
Like
I
in
should
terms of,
watch it.
I would say so. You're gonna get bored in the back half of season 2, but if you could power through just to get to season 3, you don't even have to watch Defenders. Like season
How
3
many
is like
episodes per season?
Dark Knight level of like quality superhero stuff. It's
How many?
13,
Yeah.
13,
Uh,
50 minutes.
oof.
Yeah, it's a
I just
lot.
I have a qualm with long like TV shows that are like supposed to be an hour long kind of thing.
Oh, I do too.
I just hate it. I just give me 20 minutes. Just give me
Oh,
20
I
minutes.
love it. That's why I
Love it.
liked WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I watch. I watch WandaVision. Um, the first 2 episodes which came out, and those are 30 minutes each.
Yep.
Love it. Fucking keep doing that, please.
Yeah, because when I see a show that's like, oh, like all my friends tell me, oh, you gotta watch this. It's so great. And then I look on Netflix or whatever, and I see 8 seasons, hour and 16 minutes each. I'm like, no.
22 episodes per season.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not.
I'm just not
I
doing it.
ju-
I'm so sorry.
I just don't care how good the show is.
Like, look, Game of Thrones, right? I watched the first season. Wasn't my thing. If you like it, that's awesome. More power to you for liking boring ass medieval shit. But um, I stopped watching because I lost interest or whatever. And as I was like one day, I just like looked through the episode list and I was like, holy fucking shit, dude! The episodes by like season 8 are like an hour and a half long. And like, yeah, the seasons are shorter, but I'm like, I'm just not sitting through an hour and a half long episode of something.
mm-hmm.
I know that's how long movies are, but that's a movie. I sound like a fucking crotchety old man. Like,
Yeah, we're
damn
literally.
it,
I can't
movies
watch.
are movie length and
Yeah,
TV are
we're
TV
literally.
length.
I cannot sit through an hour and a half worth of content.
Yeah.
And
Right
then
now
we're
we're the
literally a
epitome
movie
of the old man
podcast.
yells at a cloud meme.
Yeah. But yeah, I think 20 minutes is so good. 20
It
so I don't
is.
know, 20 30 minutes because it's like
That's why I like
they have to
animation.
pack. Yeah, exactly. They have to pack like a lot of content into a short amount of time, and they only have like X amount of episodes per season.
Yeah.
Whereas with 50 minutes, a lot of that is filled with such boring garbage. And
I
it's
know.
like I don't want to watch that. That's like what I had with Walking Dead. I
Yeah.
realized it was a bad show
It's
too
like
late in.
Walking Dead is such an interesting show to me because like I know people who are like the first like however many seasons are like amazing, like actually like some of the best TV ever or whatever. But now it has like it's still going, but it has completely faded from cultural relevancy.
No, yeah, there needs to be a case study on it because it's crazy. There was that episode where Negan came and spoiler, he kills people. I won't say who because I guess it was a couple years ago and like I don't know, somebody's watching through.
Yeah, whatever.
But that was like the most watched season opener of their entire thing. It was like 17 million people watched. And then in like a season, it just dropped off. Like nobody wanted to watch it. And that's where
And then
I
everyone
stopped
like
watching.
left, right? Like all the main cast members are gone and
Yeah.
people just like completely lost interest or whatever. And what's even more interesting is like that same kind of phenomenon happened with Game of Thrones, but to a different extent, which is like everyone was all aboard the fucking hype train all the way through the season 8 finale. And then I can't speak on the quality of the ending because I haven't seen any of the show, but like people hated it so much that like no one fucking talks about the show anymore.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
I
it's
mean,
over, right?
yeah, but I mean, Breaking Bad ended however many years ago, and people are still talking about it.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
Sopranos ended like 20 years ago. Sopranos.
I kind of want to watch the Sopranos.
I've seen the first and last episode.
Yeah. Do you know how many seasons it is?
6.
How long is each episode? Is it like an hour
About
long?
an hour. Yeah, it was like one of the first HBO series.
I might just go for it. Maybe. I've
Yeah,
heard it's great.
like I said, I'm gonna do Breaking Bad after Clone Wars, but it's looking more and more like Clone Wars will be wrapping up for me at like the end of April. So we'll see. I just have so much trouble with TV shows. I've talked about this a million times, but
Yeah, no, that's fair. I know you don't like anime all that much, and I'm not a huge anime fan. I watch some stuff here and there, but there's some actually pretty interesting stuff. So, and that's what I like about it. Like we were talking about, like short stuff with just a lot of.
Mhm.
Um,
You watch Gravity Falls?
yeah, that Avatar, it's really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Animation's like really underrated.
It really is. I think people kind of view it as very like childish, which is too bad. Or they don't take it too seriously. And there's a lot of interesting things going on.
I'll say
With-
like when I was talking about all that like movies that are emotional or better for me, like the animation is like absolutely like the most guilty of that, you know, because like most animated movies are like those like okay, so you take like all 30 or whatever of my 5-star things on Letterboxd, like most of them are probably animation because like those are the ones that are really able to be like, wow, that's really like I don't know how. Yeah, I mean, probably has something to do with like the visuals they can make that live action can't. You know.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
and
I also watched.
that's why we love the animated Goodfellas.
Yeah.
What else do you watch?
uh, nothing. Nothing. I didn't watch anything else. Daredevil season 3. It's fantastic. Good cinema, and he may be in Spider-Man MCU Spider-Man 3. So pretty good stuff. Daredevil, I think, is one of the most underrated superheroes ever.
I have no idea what the hell he is. So
He is a blind lawyer,
Daredevil, a blind lawyer.
blind Catholic lawyer.
Aren't they all?
It's really interesting stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Did you watch anything else?
Nope. Nope.
Cool. Well, Tommy, I think we've managed to piss off just about like every single fan base in the entire world.
Yeah, we shit on Quentin Tarantino. We just talked about.
We shit on Walking Dead. We shit on Game of Thrones.
We glorified mobsters.
Take this away from the episode. All those things you like suck, and mobsters are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So tune in next week. Where we will.
Tommy and I are gonna wear lingerie.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no movie, just the lingerie.
Yep. Just we're gonna be reviewing different lingerie.
Yep. I'll see you next time, everybody. We'll do something. Goodbye.
That's the part of the. Yep. Bye. I was gonna say like something.
Leaving that in.
Podcast.